Hey there guys, welcome back to another video. And in this video I'm just going to clear out the concept of overriding and tell you some rules. Okay, so the concept of overriding is basically this: since this person.drives and person drives is okay, but what happens inside the person drives is the thing, the x.drive function, right? And now our x is a car type, so it can be basically any three of these. It can be either a car, an SUV, or a sports as well, right? So let's just say this: the drive functions of the subclasses are given more priority than the drive class of the superclass. I said that, right? But what's actually happening is the drive function of subclass overrides the drive function of the superclass if given type of subclass is calling the drive function. So in simple words, if I'm just going to remove this, wait, no, I'm not gonna remove this. I'm gonna just say sedan dot drive over here and jeep dot drive over here and Lambo dot drive over here, right? So the thing is, sedan dot drive, sedan is a totally car type, so it's gonna simply run this function because this car drives, right? And now since jeep dot drive is an SUV, what actually happens is, and here you can see jeep is an SUV. What happens is this: the Java will see that there are two different drive functions over here. One is in the superclass and one is in the subclass. This subclass drive function is going to overpower, or technically saying override, this drive function in the car class, and then the SUV's drive function will run, and hence you will see that this car drives over anything. And similarly for this Lambo.drive, since Lambo is a type of sports inheriting from the car class, Java will see that there are two drive functions available. One is in the car and one is in the sports. Since sports is overpowering the car, or saying the sports drive function will override the drive function in the superclass, it's going to run this function for our any variable which is of sports type. So hence you see this output right here. Hence you see this output and this. But what if I have to override? What do I actually have to do to override functions? To override the functions should be exactly the same in the classes, right? So if I want to override this drive function in the SUV and this drive function in the car should be matched equally. Like if there is no parameter in the car, there should be no parameter in the SUV's drive as well. No return type over here, no return type over here, no return type over here. Means the signature of a method, or saying the, so I'm sorry, I had an interruption. So anyways, what I was saying is that the signature, or simply saying this declaration of the function, should be exactly the same of the declaration of the function you are trying to override. And the other thing is, you can only override the functions present in the superclass. Okay, so here we go to tell you that overriding will not work if I give a parameter over here, just any parameter, just to show you that this actually breaks my overriding. Now it breaks my overriding alright, but it will not break my program. Why? Because remember, car still has a drive function, and this Jeep and Lambo are essentially a type of car as well. So if there is no drive function available in sports and SUV, or matching the declaration I'm trying to say, and it's simply going to run this car.drive function. If you don't understand why, since I'm not passing any parameter over here, it's going to run it's not going to match with this function because they differ in terms of parameter. So hence it's not going to match this function. It's going to find it in a superclass and then run this function. I'll just quickly print and show you guys. It says this card drives, 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 blah blah blah. Why? Because since I'm not giving any parameters over here, right? In this, I'm not giving any parameters, and the SUV's drive function requires a parameter. Similarly, sports drive function requires a parameter. So this is a completely different function as compared to the cars.drive function, right? Hence, it doesn't work. If I are simply saying this function is different than this function, so this function is not overridden because there are two different functions now because of the parameter. Similar thing will happen if I change the return type instead of parameters, and if I change both, obviously it's not gonna work. I mean, it's not gonna override. It's not an error. Oh my god, let me just show you. Int. See, it's not an error. Okay, why is it giving me an error? Because I have not returned anything. So return 0, just returning an int and running it. So see, there was no error, but you had the same output because now this function differs even more than this function because this function doesn't even have a return type, neither a parameter, and this function has them both. Okay, so now let me just quickly change this to void and now pass a parameter in my function. So I'm just gonna pass anything. Why aren't you not taking a string type? Yes, you are. Then why is there an error? Oh, okay, I get it. Because say this is a drive function in the car, it's interpreting as the drive function of the car, not of the SUV. So if I change this to SUV over here, now it has the axis. Now if I write Lala over here, it's gonna give me no error. See? And if I try to remove this Lala, see what happens? This car drives, this car drives, this car drives. So if I change this to car again and now try to pass a parameter, it's gonna still keep an error because it's going to go for this jeep.car_drive function and not for this function because this is a car type essentially. So that's what's going on over here. So as you can see, you can automatically make out that there is something wrong because this basically should run for this function over here, but it's not. So hence, for overriding, the function's definition should be exactly the same. Oh my god, I did something. Okay, so this was pretty much it for this video, and if you don't understand any of this, I'm just quickly going to give a summary. For overriding functions in superclass inside the subclass, the declaration of the functions should be exactly the same. That is, the return type, the number of parameters, the type of each parameter, and the name of the function should be exactly the same or to the function you're trying to override. This was pretty much it, and now in the next video I'm going to tell you about the abstract classes, which is quite useful, and it's basically going to make your life easier if you're using this kind of a structure of the program. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you understood everything in this video, and if you didn't, please leave it in the comment section below. I will help you and make you understand better. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.